Hello, everybody, and good afternoon. And what else? And
Welcome to Battlefield Artisan, everybody. Thank you for joining us this week.
Yes, we got some good news coming out, and and some changes to our schedule and everything, and changes to the TV channel.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
It's going to be all good, though. It's all good, you know. But first, we're going to go through our daily routine, and I'm going to give you some new military information that's out there to share with our veterans. And then we're going to go into the news and what changes you can expect with Battlefield Artisans, which I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Same here.
All right. Are you ready?
What's going on now? As seems that you're the producer and I'm just along for the ride.
I know, right? I'm just so excited because we got so many things to do and I don't want to run out of time.
Yeah, because this is our last episode until after the first of the year.
Until next year.
But I mean, with the holidays and everything, with Thanksgiving and everything like that, like for me, got really busy and stuff like that. And, do you have any New Year's resolutions coming up, or do you do anything like that?
I don't do it anymore. I just enjoy the New Year's Eve. And I know that me and Jenny are going to, that's part of the news. Never mind.
Okay.
I'll just keep quiet on that
one. Okay. And that so I mean I guess I've never really did New Year's resolutions because I don't know, I just go with the flow type of thing. And that so why get wrapped around the axle for nothing that you can control except what's in your realm. And you can't control people around you. You can try to influence them, stuff like that. So, but needless to say, what do we have going on in today's, what do we call those? I can't even remember.
The observances of the holidays and today.
Okay. All right. Observances of the day.
Yes. We have 6 of them.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay. I have never.
Throw them at me.
I am. And they are funny. I don't know, maybe somewhat, but it's funny. Okay.
Well, it might be funny to you. Might not be funny for me or somebody else.
That's
right?
True. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Sometimes.
I mean, if you look at it, certain people, certain personalities, it's like in the military. Like the military, you have your, everywhere you were stationed or whatever, you always had a joker. In the group, right? You always had a joker in the group, right? And you always had that professional, you have to have it dress right, dress whatever, right? And then you had the quiet ones. Those are the ones you have to really watch out for.
Okay.
But okay, I know I'm just throwing it out there, just getting you side off kilter a little bit. Let's see what these 6 are. See if they're really fun.
All right. Answer the telephone like a buddy the elf day.
Answer the telephone like a buddy in
the elf day.
Buddy elf. I don't think there is.
Elf?
Yeah, I know elf, right, but buddy.
They answer the telephone like buddy the elf day.
Like this. Hello, how you doing? But I mean, because they're they're miniatures. It's like hello, hello.
No,
how can I help you?
They have a lighter.
Would you like to talk to Santa?
No, they have a lighter voice. Their voice is very light,
Squeaky?
like a baby, little light, like.
Wouldn't it be just normal?
Huh?
Wouldn't they have a normal voice?
I don't know. I guess I've never seen an elf before. I don't know.
Well, wouldn't they be vertically inclined?
Okay.
Or politically correct. I don't know what because I know they used to call them dwarfs. I know they used to call them. They can't call them midgets anymore. I don't know.
Is little people.
Okay.
Well, on TV they have little people.
All right.
On TV they have the life of the little people, small people, whatever. They have
Okay.
or they have their last names. I didn't like the M word either for them. That's disrespectful. Just call them their name. Like what? Hey, I have my friend. He's a small
Yeah.
person. I think a small
No,
person.
I wouldn't even introduce him like that. I just introduce him. I mean, I wouldn't.
Well, that's true. I would just introduce him too. But what I'm saying is that I have a friend that he's small and he's funny. He makes me laugh all the time. But he's also got a serious side to him. And I asked him that question. I said, "How you want to be introduced? Pretend I'm talking about you behind your back. How you want to be introduce you?" He goes, "Oh, you funny. How about just saying I'm a small person?" I said, "Okay, because I'm a small person, so you're a smaller person." And he beat me up. Anyway, we're gonna go there. You got Mickey Mouse cup with ears?
Mm-hmm.
That's your cup of the week? Okay.
Well, the cup of the day.
Yeah, the cup of the day.
This is
Okay.
before they went woke.
Okay. Next.
I was down there in 2005. I was going through rehabilitation, and we got to go to Walt Disney World on my orders, and my family. We got carte blanche and that. So got some perks there. Okay, going on to the next one.
Okay, next one. Baby bake.
Baby.
Wait. Bake cookies day.
Bake cookies day.
I think I would love to bake cookies. I love baking, but I love cookies.
I remember growing up in Grandma's kitchen in the holidays. I mean, her molasses cookies. I mean, they're to die for. Molasses cookies and that. And that. I try to make those recipes and then my aunt's mother, her German chocolate cake. I mean, I can remember I was getting ready to join the army, and it was 4th of July weekend or whatever, and Grandma comes. I call her Grandma, even though she was my aunt's mom. Grandma, and she says, "Well, what do you want for your birthday?" I says, "I always wanted German chocolate cake." So she always, for my birthday, if we got together, she would always make a German chocolate cake for me.
That's good. Okay.
But it's not cookies, though.
Okay. Okay. Flake Appreciation Day.
Flake?
Yeah. I thought at first they meant snowflake, but no, it says Flake Appreciation Day.
So it's like flake crust day, like the flakes on the crust, or
I wish they
would it be like dandruff? Like your dandruff flake? The flakes and dandruff, like when you scratch your head, got dandruff all over the place. Or flaky skin, like you have to moisturize the skin.
Flaky. It's flake. Don't change the word.
Flake, yeah.
I don't know what it means, but okay. Next, flake. International Migrants Day. Now, if they're talking about the New York back in the 1940 something, I can see that. That's what they're talking about. International.
You mean 1840s?
Yeah. That's
the massive migration during that time frame.
yes.
Where my grandparents
My mother's
and
too,
my great grandparents came through Ellis Island and that. So
that's Ellis Island, right? I lived in New York, and I went to the statue of Liberty about 3 times when I lived there. It's like,
um
uh, hold on, getting a message. Oh, I don't know what that
mhm,
means. Okay. Um. All right. So basically, my mom, she took me 3 times and stuff. There's a lot of places in New York that I lived there. I lived there for 18 years, right?
mhm.
And
Well, you started to grow up there, right?
I was raised there. So mainly I was in the Bronx, but in New York City, there's so many places to go to that I loved going. My favorite place was Chinatown.
Really?
I loved Chinatown because it was just different. I felt like if I was in a different country and you
Different
got to,
different atmosphere.
yeah, it was really nice. I like
Mhm.
that. And then if you go to another part, one thing I like about New York, you'll know that is the melting pot for all cultures.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
And
I mean, they do have the 5 boroughs.
yes, and it's like the cultures of New York, it's beautiful because there's no really racism back then when I was growing up. Now
Right,
I don't know. Okay.
right.
But
Mhm,
you still got your people there that you just it's lovely. When I
mhm.
was growing up, let me just rephrase this because I left when I was 18, so I've never been back, only once or twice to visit, and things changed. They're no longer there like they used to. So I can say that back in the 1970s, 80s, and early 90s, it was wonderful to be there and see the people how they got along and everything else, you know? So
Sure, sure.
that's now. But, I
I
didn't
mean,
I knew when I was 18 that I was gonna leave. I didn't wanna stay there.
right. Well, yeah, because I'm probably it
I
was
just didn't like
changed.
the tall building that I was living in.
Okay.
I didn't like that at
And
all.
I mean, I was stationed in Jersey City, New Jersey,
Ah, okay.
and that. So when I stayed in Jersey, well, New Jersey on the other side. I guess that was the Hudson, right?
Mhm.
I'm not sure. And um and I can remember, having to cross that bridge. Oh, I hated, but I mean, it was kind of nice because I got up in the mornings because
Mhm.
I lived on a military base,
Mhm. Mhm.
military housing. And then I commuted to my office. In my office, when I looked out my office window,
Mm.
guess what I got to see?
What?
Statue of Liberty every day.
Oh, that's cool.
And that, and I can remember my my uncle would come out for a visit and that, and we went to the where the towers went down, the memorial. We went out to Ellis Island, and we bought a brick with his family's name on his mom's side,
Mhm. Mhm.
and that, and so we bought a brick there, and I bought a brick and that for my grandma and
Mhm.
that went through Ellis Island and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
which is kind of neat because that brick is going to be there with their names on it in the times that they went through Ellis Island. I mean, just the stuff that they had to go through, the I, looking for it was just horrific what they had to go through to get into this country.
Yeah,
Or to today.
let them do the research on it. We have to move on.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. National Roast Suckling Pig Day.
Ooh, I can do that. I
I'm
had some Hawaiians that
yeah.
we used to have the Asian, no,
Mhm.
Pacific month. Every month they have a different culture, and that, and I learned how to bury a pig pit, and
Oh,
instead of a
yes, I
barbecue
saw it on
pit,
TV. Yes, where they build a hole and then they throw it in there. They got leaves and then they put the seasonings and then they cover it
and
back up.
then bury it.
and bury it, and it's cooking. You see the smoke coming from the ground.
Yep.
That is so cool. I saw how
Yep.
they do that. That's hard work, though. That's
Yep.
a lot of hard work.
And,
And you come out good too.
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Milk and butter. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So suckling, that was a suckling pig.
Roast suckling pig day. Okay. And the last one, which why is my answer? Why? World Arabic Language Day. Why?
Well, I mean,
Why?
well, they have English Day. They have French Day, right?
Okay.
They have German Day, right?
No.
No.
Anyway,
No.
I don't know. I don't. If this is observances of the United States Day, things, then why do we? I don't know.
Well, I mean, like you said, we're a melting pot. We got to understand each culture.
I said no. I said New York was, or maybe is, still the melting pot. I didn't say the world was a melting pot, because I don't think
all of the United States is a melting pot. Because I mean, like if you look at central Wisconsin and Minnesota and that, where German settlers came and they settled in that area. Then, in the South, you have your Frenchies and, the Louisiana, you got your Cajuns and all that good stuff. And then, you get all those different cultures. I mean, that's just like, like Miami, is more Cuban based Hispanics, right? And then on the other side, I mean, you have,
Kissimmee, Florida is a lot of Puerto Ricans. It's like they took some from the island and brought them from the ship and just dumped them there, which they actually did when they went through that Hurricane Maria and all the other hurricanes they went through.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay.
All right. That was the end of that. So, I don't know if it was
moving
funny.
on.
It was just 2, 3 funny. Anyway, today, moving on, is I get the VA news, okay? And on the VA news, it says free military service plaque, holiday shopping, avoid online scams, and 10% off coffee. Okay.
Ooh.
So here we go.
Now, is that grind coffee, or is that bean coffee, or is that just a coffee cup? Like a cup, like a coffee,
Can I get to the article first? Okay, here we go. First thing on here, it says free military service recognition plaque, a gift for the holidays. Together We Serve is offering all veterans a free high resolution military service recognition plaque, ready to print and frame, printable 11 and 17 inches with size, and suit for any wall. Claim yours today. So if you go to Vet Sources, Vet News, you got this. It says claim yours today. I'm gonna claim mine to see if it really works. Okay. Here is tips to stay safe online during the holiday shopping season. The holiday shopping season is well underway. Here are some valuable insights on today's shopping risk and the tips to help you stay safe on your shopping Halloween. So avoid the scams. Holidays.
Not Halloween.
Okay, here we go.
Sorry for the interruption.
Okay, what to look out for. Online shopping scams can be highly deceptive and difficult to spot. It's important to understand how these scams work in order to avoid them. Okay, too good to be true prices. Some online scammers exploit trending products by offering counterfeit versions of drastically reduced prices. These imitations items are frequently poorly made and can be challenging to return after purchase. Okay. Undelivered items. Believe it or not, this happened to me. After purchasing an item online, which I just happened to go online on Amazon and brought it, some scammers claim that the item was shipped without having the intent to deliver. They will then make it difficult to request a refund or replacement, despite the fact that you paid for the item that never arrived. Ooh. Package delivery scams. Unsolicited calls or text messages may direct you to and include a tracking link that you are urged to click in order to update your delivery payment reference. This came to me. These communications often come from parties who are not providing you with any goods or services. Rather, they're trying to obtain your financial and personal information. Do you hear that, folks? This happened to me. I got a text message from the USPS saying, you have an item that's undeliverable because of an unreal zip code. Well, first of all, I do all my shipping through Pirate Ship, which is a wonderful product, a wonderful company that will literally tell you if you got the wrong zip code, literally before you even send it. And then you print your packing slip. So for them to tell me that I use the USSP, no, my Pirate Ship. So I knew it was a scam. I threw it away, right? Another scam. If you get a call from your bank, in my case, they used USAA. They said, ma'am, are you using your card at an Apple store to buy an iPad for $500? I said, no. And they said, well, do you have your card on you? I said, yes. They said, well, it's being used at so-and-so. And I said, and then they said, how much you have in your account? That ding, 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 ding. Fraud department can see how much you have in your account. That rose a red flag. I'm like, I'm glad I said, I have $1. Because it hit a red flag, right? So I said, I have $1. He goes, well, how much you have in your savings? I said, what's this got to do with the fraud? Oh, okay. So they knew I was kind of catching on, right? They said, we're going to go ahead and replace your card. This is what really let me, because USAA, when they replace your card, you can see it immediately that the card was changed, and they'll send it to you and you get an email confirmation, all that. When he said that he was going to replace it, my card wasn't changed. I didn't get anything. I just hung up the phone. So I called my real company, the USAA bank, and they told me, yep, that's a fraud scam. And they also told me, you know that ringer that they have, the holding song that goes USAA. Have you ever heard it?
Right.
USA. That's a ringer, which I found out was developed by a security department, that they have that. So every time they put you on hold, if you don't hear that ringer, it's a fraud. And when he put me on hold, I didn't hear it. So I should have hung up, but I didn't know about the ringer though. So right. That's another thing. Well, it turned out they did replace my card and everything, but I didn't give them any information. What saved me is the fact that I called ahead of time, and when they ask for your balance, the fraud department can see your balance.
Yeah.
Okay? They can see your balance. They can see all your accounts. Do not fall for that trick. Okay. All right. Next. Let me see. I already read about the packing, delivering scams, right?
Yep.
Okay. Next, I have two of them. Strange payment methods. Scammers do not want to give refunds for items once they have been purchased. If you're asked to pay through money transfer apps, wire transfer, or money order, it's likely a scam. These are payment methods in which you cannot easily dispute charges or receive a refund. I think we all know we buy our stuff online with a card, so, we know that. Right. Okay, lookalike sites. This one is tricky. Scammers try to deceive consumers with fake retail advertisement through social media, email, pop-up windows. While these advertisements may look realistic and offer discounts, they often lead to imposter website rather than the legitimate website. So if you get something too good to be true and it's on your favorite store because they know now what you like and dislike, you want to go ahead and go to the actual store, get out of the email, go to the actual store and see if they have that deal. If they don't, it was a scam. Okay. Right. Yep. Okay. What can you do? Although online shopping scams are preventable, okay, are prevalent, that doesn't mean you can't take precautionary measures to ensure the safest possible online shopping experience. These are several steps you can take to protect yourself. Use credit cards whenever possible.
Yep.
Compared to other forms of payment, credit cards offer more protection against fraud and the ability to dispute charges if you encounter issues with your purchase. So have you ever had a fraud where you then the fraud department just denied the charges, and finally they told you it's because it was fraud?
I had bought a couple things where they put it on hold, and they sent me an email saying, "Hey, did you try to purchase this?" Okay. And then they would give you an 800 number. I would never reply back to an email. I would always call the number. And then I would ask them certain questions about my account.
Right. Okay.
To make sure that I'm talking to a person that has my personal information, that is actually the fraud people. Okay. And I says, yes, I gave them authorizations to pay it once, not 4 times. What would I bought an item, right? From this, which was valid, right? The item came to me, but then they charged it 3 other times.
Ooh.
Right?
Oh, bueno.
And it was my mistake because I clicked on a certain box. Okay. It was my fault.
Okay.
But when it came across the same purchase all the time, fraud came in and said, boom, there's a fraud.
Hey, your credit card company did. Yeah.
Yeah. And they froze my card. And then, well, actually, it was my bank, which is my debit. I only have 1 credit card.
Right.
Everything else is debit.
Yeah.
Or I pay cash. If I don't have, if I can't buy it, if I don't have the cash to buy it, I don't buy it.
That's it. Sorry. That's right. That's
cash go.
We are going.
Even
my 2025 goal is to be like you, just have 1 credit card and that's it. Right now, I just have 3, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, let me keep out with this. Research the seller before making a purchase. Research legitimately the retailer you plan on purchasing from. This is a quick and easy way to see if others had problems with your products, which I just said, go to the official website, right? Comparison shop. If you come across an item that is priced significantly cheaper than any other retailers are selling it for, it is most likely a scam. Scammers look alike official website to trick consumers into purchasing kickoff items. Okay, go to the trusted sites. Didn't I just say that? Type in a company's website directly rather than scanning the QR code or clicking on the ads and promotional materials.
You know what there's another way to do that too.
What?
A lot of these big, like Walmart, Target, Kohl's, Sears, JCPenney back in the day, they used to have price match. Remember that? If you can buy it here at this, and they have the same price, right? I'd call, I'd go, okay, this item is like $50 cheaper than this price over here. And then I would call the higher price one. I said, hey, this company has this on sale. This company has this on sale. Will you match that? They're not on sale. What? You see the difference?
Yeah.
That's where you can, that it might be a scam too.
Yep. Okay. Another one. Save receipts and confirmation emails. If a scams take place, save documentation from your purchase can help you work with your bank and seller to get your money back. So that's one of the things that you want to go ahead and be careful of when you do, prevent scams. I wanted to, because a lot of people our age, when it comes to shopping online, we want to go ahead and get. This year I haven't really gone and done that. I've been to Amazon twice because my kids live in 2 different states. So I went ahead and just sent them their packages directly from the Amazon. I shopped online for them and they went. I didn't have to think about nothing. That's the best way to do it. Just, that's it. I'm done. Okay. VA Secretary McDonald Town Hall Q&A. VA Secretary Dennis McDonough answered some of the most requested questions from veterans and their families, caregivers, and survivors during a recent town hall, which the chat covering topics such as transition vet centers, memorial offers, caregivers, community care, toxic exposures, women veterans travel, and claims. And watch the chat. So there's a chat that's going to be going on, the Q&A with the VA Secretary McDonough in the town hall. Okay, it doesn't really say a date. Let me see if it says a date. Oh, it's on YouTube. Okay, so it's already on there. When you click on the thing, it already takes you there. So that's that. Okay, next, VA secure sign-in changes. In 2025, there was a lot of controversy what was going to happen to our benefits once President Trump was going to get in the office, right? And because there was a lot of rumors that he's taking out all our benefits. There was another rumor that no, it's not being touched. It was crazy. But it said a VA secure sign-in changes. In 2025, you'll need to start using a login government or ID.me account to sign in for all the VA websites and app. This is already happening. I use ID.me. Okay. Which watch this episode of The Bluff and get the bottom line up front on these changes. So once you click on, can I share my screen?
You should be able to. Okay, present.
Yeah, hold on. Share screen. Okay. It's really important to know this because you never know. So here it is, okay? You want to make sure, okay, so this is, if you get the email news, this is how it's going to come, okay? This is a legit site. You got the VA, and you know that it's coming from them, because if you go down here and you click on the arrow, Veterans Affairs messages.va.gov, that's legit. No one can do that, okay? So that's it. Then I got here, and I got these news. So as you can see, I'm going down to here. So they secure new sign-on changes. So the new sign-on changes, learn about this. If you click on it, okay, you immediately go to their YouTube and they start talking about whatever the topic. So that is telling you right now it's going, because I know you can't hear it, right?
Right.
So what is that? They're telling you this is the new sign-on right here. Either log in with login.gov or ID.me. I use ID.me. Okay. My health ed directly is now locked. It's disabled. I can no longer log in with that. Okay. The DS logon also locked. We cannot do it. These are the only two right now that you can log in. They're doing this because of security measures. Okay, a lot of veterans accounts have been hacked, and they're trying to make sure that it doesn't get hacked. So now you have to log in with login.gov or ID.me. Watch this video and you'll be able, they'll tell you everything what's going on what to do, okay? And who invented it and why, and they'll start talking about it. So I hope that helps, because it's very important that you know that as of January 2020, grant program now supports children and teens between the ages of 1 through 18 by funding their chosen after school activity. This is a grant especially for veterans and their children's, and if they're homeschooled, you know that they need those extracurricular activities for their diploma. And so this is granted. You say that you're a veteran, you have a child, and they need money for football, they need money for tennis, whatever the case may be. You submit the application and there it is.
Now I have I guess a question on that one. Mm-hmm. So I'm a grandparent.
Okay.
And could I use that for my grandchild?
That's a very good question, Jeffrey.
My child is over 26.
That's a very good question. That's a very good question, Jeffrey. Let me see. I'm looking on here. It says our military kids offer extracurricular activities ages 1 through 8. Let me see. Disclaimer: the sharing of any non-VA information does not constitute an endorsement of products and services on the part of the VA. And anything that we tell you here, we are not responsible for any changes that may occur from the time that is read. Okay.
Right.
This was sent to me December 18, which is
today.
Yeah, today. So, as of today, anything after that changes, you can't say, well, I saw it on the Battlefield Artisans and they said, no, we said what's on here today may change for tomorrow. That's up to you. Like I tell you, sign up for your vanews.gov because it's very important. You might miss some very important information and grants and money. Very important.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a very good. Celebrating its 20th year, our military kids. That's what it is called, OMK, the national nonprofit providing activity scholarships to children of post 9/11 combat injured or ill veterans, has expanded its eligibility criteria to ages 1 to 2.
Okay.
Okay. It says OMK is between, it says here, grant program now supports military children and teens between the ages of 1 through 18 by funding their after school activities from sports to music camp, academic tutoring. I don't see anything here about grandchildren. Oh, eligibility requirements. Here it is. The child or teen has to be between the ages of 1 through 18, and or high school graduate. Veterans have sustained combat-related wounds, illness, injuries while deployed in support of post 9/11 overseas contingency operation. Veterans has one VA individual disability with 30% or more not combined in one of the following categories: burns, amputation, mental health, spinal cord injury, traumatic brain injury, PTSD, or one of the presumptive conditions outlined in the PACT Act. Veteran is actively seeking treatment for his or her injuries and illness, has a case manager, medical provider who is able to certify the above information in writing. And then it tells you how to apply, but it doesn't say anything about grandchildren. So if it's not put, it's probably not funded. That's what I say.
Well, like I said, it doesn't hurt to ask.
It does never hurt to ask.
Because if you look at it, right, the Iraqi war, right, we were done at 2011, right, and then Afghanistan just a year ago, or is that 2 years now? No, that's a year ago. But my kids are grown, and
we have to make room for the new soldiers, so they're not going to give it for our grandchildren.
But you see, the only thing is the new soldiers, they're not eligible because they weren't in combat.
Now you're getting into tricks and tribery and wordplay of the government, which is a whole other different show.
Right. But like you said, it doesn't hurt to ask. I mean,
it doesn't.
Like you said, my kids are all grown, but my kids went through that. But if they're not eligible, why couldn't my grandkids be?
That's a good question.
I mean, like some grandparents do have custody of their grandkids. Right?
Right. I see what you're saying, and I understand.
But that's another question for another day.
But you're getting into the stuff now, and we don't want to go into the red tape, okay? Right. All right. It says here that they were given an actively scholarship worth of $34 million to the children. That's a lot of money across all the states. That's not enough. 34 million. Think about it. 34 million across 50 states.
But you see, a lot of people don't know. But a lot of people don't know about this, and that money just sits.
They will now.
Yes.
And
spread the word.
Yeah, it is there. So and that's what they're hoping, that's why I love look and saying about the news, because some of our veterans, they're not enrolled in the VA news and they don't know what they're missing, you know.
Right.
And if you are a small business, they have money out there. We just got to apply for it, for the grant.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the news. I think I finished. Was that it? Oh, okay. No, one more. Finding mental health support after Vietnam War. After serving in the Vietnam War, many veterans came home to politically changed environment while facing new challenges to their mental health. Watch Vietnam veterans discuss the mental health treatments that help them manage their symptoms, and that is a YouTube show. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hiring veterans jobs of the week. Employers are looking to hire veterans across the country. We're now posting all jobs hiring veterans VA News. Check out this week's list of 65 new jobs, upcoming job fairs, including DOL teams, virtual internship training. Military spouses can get free job training. Okay, December 12th from 2 to 4 p.m. on December 12th, which it already passed. So why are they sending me this? Kirkland Air Force Base military hiring, December 13 at 9. You see what I'm saying? I get something today, but it already passed. So they're a little bit behind. Okay. Check your veteran buddy.
Okay. But what you can do is you can write them and say, hey, do you have another job fair coming up?
True.
And then please put me on that list where you can get automatic updates.
Yeah. Another
Even
thing,
though that event passed,
they're always having
they have a reoccurring.
Yeah, find the next job. They even have a button. So when I press on it, they have hiring veterans the week of, and then they have all of these jobs listed in every state. They got a lot in Texas too. New Jersey, Texas, a lot Iraq marshals, a lot of contract jobs. Let me tell you something. There are jobs out there is that they make it so difficult to apply too. Have you ever applied for a USAA job, the contracted job?
No.
I did. And I had to have a top security clearance, which thank God I did. But the rigmarole, I had to supply all my NGB 22s, my DD 214, my resume, and then they wanted a Vita after that, a Vita. They have all these things, and then you have to write a freaking paragraph of why you want the job, what makes you qualified for the job. Then after that, you got all this, and then they have to verify you, and then they'll do the interview, and then the whole process takes about 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really difficult. And again, they're stressing about the new sign-on. So if they put it on here twice, it must be very important, which it is. So if you don't get into your regular sign-on, now from us that we told you January 25th, you're going to need ID.me. Okay, it's very easy to apply. Make sure you have your driver's license with you, because they do take a picture of that, and they took a picture of your face. It's a very secured. I'm surprised they don't ask you for a fingerprint in the camera or something like that. But hey, you never know. Anyway, that is the news for today. Jeffrey, what do you think?
Hey, there's a lot going on, and like you said, each year,
Mm-hmm.
as it comes to a close, I mean, they have a surplus of money. A lot of these grant organizations, and they're just, it's sad, because I can remember in the military, or when I was in the military, you had a budget for each quarter.
Right.
And I can remember having to do a budget analysis, like a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years analysis. And that's all your training, your equipment, your supplies, and stuff like that. And I can remember we came down on December 25th. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Quartermaster comes in and he says, hey, you have until the 31st to spend $55,000. You have $55,000 in your bank that you have to spend. So when the next fiscal year comes in, they'll bump it up another 55,000.
Hey, the banner.
If you don't spend it, you lose it. And you're like, what am I going to buy? Whole bunch of pens, whole bunch of paper. You know, it was just.
That is crazy.
Mind blowing. What they, you know.
Instead of buying important stuff, they'll buy a desk with a chair and all that. I'm like, you know, I'm like, really?
But, so I mean I don't know if it's still going on.
The banner where they can get in contact and they want to make comments. You're not showing it.
Huh?
The banner. Turn on the banner. There you go. Okay, here we go. You can read.
Yep. So yeah. So you can email us, or you can go on our Facebook, Battlefield Artisan, that Facebook, that little in there, and write comments in there, and that. And we'll get back to you. And that, like I said, I think we have like maybe 80. I'm not sure on Battlefield Artisan on Facebook. We don't quite have 100 on there.
Okay.
So, but we're growing. You know, we're
the news. We got to do the changes before we leave.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Go ahead. You do Battlefield Artisans. I'll do the rest.
Okay. As of, you know, we come in here at 3:00 and that, and I know a lot of people are still working and that, and me and Jeanette, we sat down, we says, you know, we need to get more people involved and stuff like that. So what we're going to be doing after the first of the year and that is we're going to 5:30 p.m.
I thought it was 7.
Huh?
7. It was 7 p.m.
Okay, 7 p.m.
It was 7 p.m. 5:30 was me and Jenny.
Okay. 7 p.m. for Battlefield Artisans.
Yeah, it's 7 p.m., which is Eastern time, 6 p.m. Central time. And we're doing this because our analytics on the TV show that 84% of people in our programming and our thing, they watch everything at night. And very well so, because, hey, they're working in daytime, so they want to go ahead and do that. So as of January, I think the first one is going to be January for 8th. Us, January 8th. So January 8th, we will be at 7:00.
Yeah, because the first is the holiday.
Right. So this is the last one.
I'll be sleeping. Are you gonna stay up and watch the ball? Oh no, you got a program going on.
Yeah, well, hey, thank you for reminding me. Jenny and I on December 31st, we're gonna be live on TV, and on that TV program, we're only gonna stay for about 2 hours, but we're gonna announce the winners for the St. Jude picture embroidery that David Poyant did. We have 2 winners there, and then I'm gonna announce my bag bling because I'm giving it away. The people who spend $25 or more with us will win coasters, a clock, and a bag of bling.
Okay, and then what for me?
Oh, and 2 pins. Is it 2?
Yep.
2 of his beautiful royal pins, as you see there, and he'll be shipping it to his area. You know, his pins are made out of marble and wood, you know. So yeah, they're wonderful. Okay, so basically, that's it. That's all, folks.
That's all, folks.
That's all, folks.
We gotta be careful. We can't copyright you.
Okay.
We make the big money so we can sue, or they can sue us, and we just pay it off, right? That's all, folks.
I did forget something, because we're also having fun with J&J is also going to go in the evenings, and they're going on at 5:30. So hey, I'm talking third person here, but we are going on at 5:30 in the evening on Fridays as well. That's going to be changing. So we'll still have regular programming, but new vendors. We have 27 new vendors. I am so excited.
And there might be another show coming up. The BB show. Right? Maybe.
A who show?
The BB show.
The BB show. Not
bacon bits. No.
The BB show.
Yeah, the BB.
We got fantastic new shows coming up, and it is amazing. I didn't know you had family. That's all I gotta say. Anyway.
Well, yeah. Well, his is spelled with an A. I'm the English spelling, double E. Beever.
Yeah,
and then his is Beaver.
Yes, he's coming up on Friday. As a matter of fact.
Yep.
Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Well, I'm gonna.
You might break into the show. Don't be surprised if he goes. I can see him and looking at the other people going like this. I will send you a link, by the way.
Okay,
anyway, sure. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So should I bring Wally too?
Wally?
Should I bring Wally?
Yeah, you should bring Wally.
Introduce him to the new Beaver.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna like it, but okay.
No, we'll give him his shot.
No, he's gonna go first, and then I'll leave you in the back studio. You'll stay there until you come back.
Right.
And then we'll bring you in
like you said,
announce the new show, of course. So that's gonna be fun. Can't wait.
Yes, and like I said, people stay tuned, subscribe. Browse, show it to other people. We are a bunch of cookie crafters, and that we're cookie veterans. I'm a couple bricks shy of a full load. So, and my doctor keeps saying, hey, you need to do this, and I says, okay, I'll do that, and then a month or so ago, I forget.
Yeah.
What you're supposed to be still doing? Oh, oops. Okay, I remember now.
Yeah, but you had special issues anyway.
Aren't we all special though?
We are all special. They broke us. Now they got to fix us and take care of us for the rest of our lives. Because we got issues.
I was broke before I even got. That's beside the point. Okay.
Better not say that. You know how they are.
Yep. And that but like I said, thanks for all the support you guys give us. We just, it's the end of the year. I want you guys to be blessed. Everybody that's watching this channel, please be blessed. Because you bless us with your comments and your concerns and stuff like that. And hopefully we give you what you need. And if you don't, tell us. And if we can, by hook or by crook, we'll give it to you. All right. So anything else there?
Yes. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. From the Creative Spirit channel, Battlefield Artisans.
All right. With that, here we go.